Welcome back to another episode of Invest in Quinte West. I'm your host, Luisa Sorrentino, the Economic Development Officer for the city of Quinte West, and I am thrilled to have you with us today. Whether you're an EDO like me, an industry business leader, or an entrepreneur, get ready for a captivating journey into Invest in Quinte West, where we explore the dynamic world of economic development within the Quinte West region and beyond. In each episode, we aim to inform, inspire, and connect our community with the driving forces shaping our economic landscape. Today's guest on the podcast is Cheyanne O'Discroll of Co-Marketing, and we are turning local insights into market dominance. Cheyanne is a marketing consultant who works exclusively with independent small businesses across B2B and B2C, product and service-based, brick and mortar and online models. Having worked with 200 plus small businesses, her approach positions marketing as a practical strategic asset, not a reactive or chaotic expense. She supports small businesses owners in making clearer, more confident marketing priority decisions based on real market conditions. But first, if this podcast is hitting the sweet spot for you, here is a quick friendly nudge. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support truly makes our day and helps Invest in Quinte West find its way to more curious minds. Also, if there is someone you're just dying to hear on the show or a topic you'd love us to explore, drop us a line at economicdevelopment@quintewest.ca. All right, let's get started. Get ready to be entertained, informed, and inspired. This is Invest in Quinte West. So Cheyanne, steady but selective. Can you talk to our listeners about your report that describes the Bay of Quinte economy for 2026 as steady but selective?
Definitely. I know 2025 has been a very challenging year as business owners, and it's very easy to feel overwhelmed when it's already challenging enough to be a business owner. And when we look at the data and the numbers, there's a little bit of, I don't want to say hope, but there's optimism there that we can tap into. It's not about seeing something that's not there. It's about understanding that the numbers are telling us that the demand and the flow of money, it is very selective, which means we want to lean into our strengths, but it's very steady. People are still spending. They're still looking for businesses to purchase from, and they are very receptive to the types of businesses that we have here in the Bay of Quinte.
Absolutely. And that's why that selective nature is so important for a business marketing focus.
100%. The fact that we have such a high level of discernment in the consumer base can feel like a bit of an opposition, but it's actually an opportunity for us small local businesses, because one of the things they're getting very selective about is the value alignment of their purchasing, which puts us at the very front of the line as they're being selective in their purchasing.
Yes, I'm always fascinated by value-based marketing and everything that goes behind it, and how we as human beings, we do tend to follow our compass, our inner compass, when it comes to making those decisions. So definitely a great tip for business owners that are looking into focusing their marketing for 2026. And the report identifies key headwinds like cost of living pressures and labor shortages. What's the most potent tailwind supporting Quinte West businesses right now, and how should they leverage it?
I love the tailwinds that we have here in the Bay of Quinte. I work with clients all throughout Canada. I have some international. And working with my local clients is such a privilege because we have a really beautiful spot that we're in economically. One of the key tailwinds we have is population growth. We have people moving into the area that are looking for businesses to purchase from. They're bringing demand, they're bringing income and discretionary spending. It's such a great opportunity for us. And in combination with that tailwind, we have a lifestyle migration. It's happening on many levels. I've been tracking this since the early 2000s when I was in food. And watching it evolve now, Canada-wide, we're migrating our lifestyle. We're looking to purchase more consciously. We have our elbows up. We're really oriented towards Canadians. And then even more so in the Bay of Quinte, we're seeing a real shift in consumer sentiment. People who are moving in are opting in specifically for the small local community. More people are recognizing the opportunities we have here. And so more people are looking to have this more conscious consumeristic lifestyle. And they're migrating their spending dollars away from big box stores and franchises. And they're intentionally actively going out and looking for opportunities to engage with small local businesses. It's such an incredible opportunity for us here in 2026.
And I think that people that would, like you said, consciously, mindfully choose to live in the Bay of Quinte would align in their values with that lifestyle and the quality of life that we have here. And as we dive a little bit deeper into your research, we see that you highlight three dominant consumer segments: the midlife working families, retirees or older adults, and professional newcomers. Can you summarize a little bit like the biggest difference in how these three groups shop, and where is the immediate biggest growth opportunity in Quinte West?
So what this really helps us understand is that the demand can be really identified. These consumer segments are a great way to understand how and why people are purchasing in the Bay of Quinte. So our working families, there are people in 40 to 50, 30 to 50. We're balancing all of that stuff of home and life and work. Our constraints are we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of energy. It's already going to things. So our purchasing is very much on things that are convenient, things that are everyday routine purchases, groceries, kids' experiences and activities. It's a really big portion of our market here, especially in Quinte West. We have a really, really big chunk. And they're very responsive to things that feel reliable and consistent and supportive of this life stage they're in. Our retirees and our older adults, we have them more of our rural communities like Brighton and Sterling. And they're a really beautiful market segment. They are actually, this past holiday season, the only market segment that was going to increase their gift spending. They really enjoy investing in the people in their lives and the people in their community. So their spending is really incredibly value aligned. They are very much consciously making those choices based on spending their dollars in a place that feels like it's embodying the things they believe in. And then our professional newcomers, they tend to be concentrated a bit in the county. They're bringing in really incredible urban opportunities for our businesses. They're more lifestyle-based. They're going to be having a bit more discretionary income, and they really want to have experiences. And it's such a great opportunity for our businesses to expand a little bit in what they're offering so that they can meet this new demand that the professional newcomers are bringing in for us.
So would you say that that is the biggest growth opportunity that a business owners would have?
I would say if you do not have an offer that is specifically designed for one of these, I would look at who matches your business well and really diving into them and understanding them and meeting them where they are. That would be my biggest opportunity, is identifying which one of those market segments is a really strong fit for you and just fully serving them.
Yes. I find sometimes when an entrepreneur starts this adventure of having a business, sometimes diving into the target audience is a little bit, of a hit and miss. They could do better at understanding their target audience.
What I have found, I've worked with over 200 at this point, and I love my independence because we kind of come at business backwards, where we create a product or service that we love based on our personal or professional skill set. And then we launch it. And like you're saying, there's not much market research. It's very much a, if I build it, they will come mentality. And usually at the point I end up working with someone, they're recognizing there's a gap. And it's exactly that lack of really digging into your market, which is one of the reasons I did the legwork so that we can understand here are our markets. Who do you want to focus on connecting to the most?
And thank you for that, because I think it really gives us who work in the economic development industry a place where we can refer people to. Yes. So it's really, really important to know your target audience and, you know, again, build some products and services for them. And on the business side, the business-to-business side or market is dominated by micro enterprises. What are the two top spending priorities of these small businesses in 2026?
Selfishly, I want to say marketing. Unselfishly, I'm still going to say marketing. Right now, especially because that demand is so selective, the only way to tap into selective demand is marketing. That is the whole point of marketing. So in 2026, with the micros that we have, I understand micros really well. Our capacity is not huge. 4 out of 5 of our businesses in the Bay of Quinte are micros. It's part of our economy. So when we can invest in our internal marketing capacity, where we build something that is sustainable, that is going to help you bring in the cash flow and the revenue that you need to then continue to invest and build your business.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. And so your consumer transaction knows that most purchases start online, but end with businesses that feel human, value-aligned, and trustworthy. How can a local small-scale business effectively bridge that gap between digital discovery and authentic local purchase?
This is one of the key pieces behind building a sustainable marketing system, is recognizing that you want to leverage online as a discoverability channel. You do not have to get on TikTok and point and dance, and you don't have to fight against the sheer wealth of posts that are on Instagram and Facebook. That is not your job as a business owner, and I know how quickly it gets overwhelming when you turn to social media and that's what you're seeing. So what you want to do is, I always say you can see social media. There's 3 different ways we can leverage it. It can be used almost like an index, like an old school phone book. People will actively just go and look you up. And if they get contact information, that's good enough. You can also use it as a media platform where you are putting out content that people can consume. It'll nurture the relationship with you. This is best suited for business owners who either are content creators, they like to do that, they enjoy it, or they have someone on their team. Or if you have an amount that you can invest in it. It's usually a later strategy I recommend. But the other piece is the social. Yeah, it's such an incredibly easy way to connect with adjacent businesses that are also serving your market, getting into local Facebook community groups. If you are not in there, jump in there. People are active. They're looking to connect. So using the online discovery, it's just about making sure if someone Googles you, they're going to get the clear information about your business. And if you're going to leverage social media, make sure it's clear. Make sure people know who you are, what you do, and how to take the next step with you. You do not have to be online constantly. You don't have to be fighting all the rest of the content creators. Just make it easy and clear within 3 clicks for people to know how to take the next step.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, within 3 clicks. I think that's something that could really change things for certain businesses, for sure. And then the marketing flywheel. So your core strategy for 2026 is the marketing flywheel with 3 levers: differentiation, diversification, and depth. Why did you choose this flywheel model over a traditional marketing funnel, and for this particular economic climate?
So right now, because of the consumer trends that we're seeing, we live in a post-trust economy. People are very selective with their spending. What's happening is that they're really looking to keep building relationships with brands they trust. So they're less likely to go into something new and novel, but they will continue to invest. They also are very much, there's a huge demand driver for local, small scale, and Canadian made. That's another element of it. And people, because things are a little bit volatile right now, when we're spending money in one area, in 6 months, we might be spending it in a completely different area. So people have different needs with their spending, and they're changing very rapidly. So the flywheel is designed to meet those trends and to tap into them. And it's a flywheel rather than a funnel because, like I said, we want it sustainable. A flywheel actually maximizes, whereas a funnel brings so many people through and you lose people along the way. Right. A flywheel is maximized for every conversion that comes in for the very first point. They then enter the flywheel and you're able to continue to engage with them and continue to have an economic exchange with them because client and customer acquisition is the most expensive marketing we can do. We want to retain and continue to deepen the relationship rather than constantly going out on that treadmill to get new people in.
And so let's talk about differentiation. So differentiation is about attracting demand by making your local identity visible. For a Quinte West business, this isn't product focused like a service provider. What's one practical way that they can embody their made in Canada or locally crafted statement?
I love that. Great question. I'm a service provider myself, so this is a method. One of the ones that I use is I really make sure I have my own podcast called Made for Canada, and that's my way of really sending my flag up and saying my brand is about Canadian. My brand is really about local independent businesses, and that really helps differentiate me from other marketers. When I talk to Quinte West businesses, they know that my heart and my soul is here. I have this report. I've done the legwork and the research because I'm purely invested in making sure this community is able to see its potential and the businesses are able to grow in the way that they're desiring. And I make sure that's visible by things like my report, like the podcast name, like the fact that I'm constantly engaging with my businesses. I'll share that on my social media. If you're a service provider, I know the overlap between independent businesses and conscious consumers. It's almost a complete overlap. We tend to shop local. We tend to be those kind of people. So displaying those habits and sharing that differentiates you from other service providers that aren't part of the community. Showing yourself in a local diner or a local cafe, tagging them on your Facebook or your Instagram. Very easy ways to just show that your brand is locally based and that you're engaging in your local community.
You know, in this community in particular, I find the synergies that are created through participating or attending to some of the events that are happening. Like, for example, when we met during Business Week, you were delivering that seminar, and that's where I met you. And behold, from that event only, I have followed up and met with a number of people. And so it goes to show that, the people that think alike often gather. And then from there are partnerships, there are opportunities. And what a wonderful display of shop local that is. That's like the best display for sure. Now let's talk about diversification. You advise businesses to capture demand through diversification. Can you provide just a simple, concrete example of how a small local business like a bakery or a retail store can diversify its offerings to spread the risk across seasons?
Yes. So one of the things, if you've been in business any length in time, you'll notice there's demand seasons and there's slow seasons. And for a small business, we need that cash flow to stabilize.
Absolutely.
One of the key ways we can do that is diversifying our offers. I have a framework I've developed that covers the 3 types of market fit we tend to see in independent businesses. It's everyday, which is consumer staple, experience, which is consumer discretionary, and then expertise, which is professional services. Most of us are serving one of those needs of our market. Diversification is a way to look at which need am I not serving. So we have quite a few really savvy business owners downtown who they're retail or they're bakery, they're selling home goods, and they also offer workshops.
Yes.
So they're serving the everyday needs, and sometimes that slows down, and they're diversifying with an experience-based need. So I always say, if you are finding slow seasons, think of your core market. They have other needs. If they're purchasing retail from you, they have experiences they want to do. They might need some professional help with the thing that you're an expert at, that you've built your business around. So diversify your offers and offer those same people a different way to work with you.
Absolutely. And I'm a big supporter of experiences. So I always want to learn how to do things and make it myself or whatever the case is. So certainly something that other people like me would want to try for sure. And what about depth? So you call existing customers the most stable asset. What is the highest value, low effort action a small business can take to strengthen depth and turn satisfied customers into loyal and predictable revenue streams?
This is really retention marketing, which is a key piece. If you don't have it in place, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Funny enough, the most actionable piece of this with the quickest return is follow-ups. So many of us do not have a system in place, whether we're service or product-based, where we have a way to follow up with people after they have purchased from us. We just let them disappear into the community and hope they find their way back. If you're service-based, having a sense of, for people who do come back again, what timeline is that? And making sure you have a plan to reach back out to them in a month or 6 months, depending on your sales cycle, to touch base with them, to remind them that you're here, you'd love to serve them again. For product-based, getting people on an email list and just following up with them, whether it's once a month sending something out, but that continuity of a follow-up keeps us top of mind, and it develops mind share, which is something we actually want before market share. Before people will come purchase from us, we need to exist in their minds. And simple follow-ups are the way that we keep that relationship developing, and we make sure we hold on to the mind share so that when they go to purchase again, we're their default option that they move towards.
Yes, absolutely. It's like planting that little seed.
Yes.
So that, it grows and then eventually blossoms. So the relational advantage. You emphasize that strong local economies are built on relationships, not transactions. What's your message to Quinte West business owners who may be tempted to cut back on relationship building in favor of aggressive, price-driven transactional marketing in this very tight market?
Do you want to be in business in a couple of years?
Yeah.
We are relational by nature, and it's even more amplified in our community because we have this really beautiful, tight-knit, relational energy that we're all living from. So business is really relationships first, both in terms of community choices, but also in terms of that exchange and interaction. People are not purchasing a product or service from you. They're purchasing a relational exchange. Mm-hmm. So if you shift it towards transactional and you really go for that like price cut or that push, you might attract a certain segment. They're not coming back. They're specifically going to go value hunt. They're going to look for, and we can never offer the cheapest value because we're not commodity based. We're offering so much more. So even if it works momentarily, you're shooting yourself in the foot for a year down the road where you've now lost the relationship-based people who would come back to support you because they want to make sure you're still there in another year because you matter to them.
Yeah.
So it's just not worth it if you want to stay in business over the next couple of years.
Yeah, so foster that loyalty, foster that relationship. That's really a great advice. I truly believe that we're all social animals.
Yes,
so
we are.
do click
Yes.
with certain products, but, it's mostly what they represent and how they make us feel. And so if you can be the person that makes someone feel good today, then be it, and they will surely return to feel that again. And then, so for a Quinte West entrepreneur listening today, what's the single most important marketing idea from your 2026 report that they need to act on?
Build your marketing flywheel. Take your marketing Seriously, marketing is not an expense, it's an asset. One of the most common challenges we end up in is that we treat marketing as something to buy. It's really something to build. Don't feel like you have to do it in a way that is large and too big of a scale for you and your business. Approach it in a very manageable, sustainable way with agency. You control this. The flywheel is designed to give you the framework, but it's like a sandbox. There's so many choices, but don't ignore your marketing, because if you spend 12 months building it, you will be so much further along with an asset that's now created and able to start building ROI. If you ignore it, there is no shortchanging marketing. You cannot rush it. You cannot throw enough money at it to develop those relationships quickly. It takes time. So start seeding it and building up the capacity this year, and you will give yourself the gift in 2027 of starting from a stronger base.
Absolutely. And since we talked about your beautiful report there, could you tell us where we're going to find it and where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. It's CEO Marketing Consultant, and there is links in my bio directly to the report. I'm also under LinkedIn in Cheyanne O'Discroll, and I have my report linked there as well. So very easy to get access to. I also have a little podcast series that goes through each one of the pieces of the flywheel a little more in depth. If you're really looking to sink your brain into it, that's a nice little addition to go through with the report.
That's wonderful. And I'm so grateful you joined us today. And I know that our listeners will definitely follow up because you had shared such amazing wisdom tips with us today. So thank you so much, Cheyanne.
Thank you very much for having me.
And that wraps up the episode of Invest in Quinte West. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. If you have any thoughts, questions, or just want to say hello, we would love to hear from you. Remember, you can always catch up on previous episodes and stay connected with us on social media. Find us on social media with our handle @Quinte West on Facebook, X, and YouTube, and CT of Quinte West on Instagram and LinkedIn. Join the Invest in Quinte West community and get updates on new episodes. Before we say goodbye, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your podcast platform. Your feedback helps us improve and brings more amazing content to your ears. A quick reminder that new episodes go out monthly, ensuring concise yet comprehensive discussions. Stay curious, stay inspired, and until next time, this is Luisa Sorrentino signing off from Invest in Quinte West. Take care. Arrivederci.